future where ancient wisdom and modern science coexist in harmony. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I feel happy to inform you all that as a part of this International Conference on Traditional Knowledge, we have also organized an exhibition on traditional jewelry and attires. Also, a cultural event on traditional art forms has been organized in the afternoon. I welcome you all to endeavor both the programs. It's time we invite Professor Mridul Hazarika, former Vice Chancellor of Guwahati University and present Vice Chancellor of Mahapurush Srimanta Shankardev Vishwavidyalaya Nowgong, also a renowned academician with several publications, to please address our audience with his inaugural speech.
Good afternoon. Respected Principal of the College, Dr. Majumdar, dignitaries on the dais, Professor Bezborua, Professor Thakur, Dr. Gogoi Rao, and distinguished participants from different parts of the country and abroad, and my fellow teachers of this college, and my dear students. Is the traditional knowledge we have been really emphasizing after the emergence of new education policy. Well, what is our need today? Need today is that we want to have a fast growth, and that needs to be accompanied with sustainability and inclusiveness. If we talk of rapid growth, fast growth, the modern developments are really rapid as far as the growth is concerned. If we talk of digital age, it's extremely rapid. What we are seeing today and what we are really seeing tomorrow is really a vast difference. But two other things, the sustainability and inclusivity. These two things we find in our tradition. This is very important because this combination, although I do admit that it may not be the speed with which we are moving now as far as our tradition is concerned, is the need of the time. And that's what it is happening. But one thing is very important, the tradition that we build, tradition that emerges, this is cumulative. And as far as this is concerned, this traditional knowledge, this is mostly empirical over the period of time. We experience, we experiment, and then we interpret and we accept. And this is a long period of time. This is the time tested. This traditional knowledge is time tested mostly, and therefore a sustainability factor exists as far as the traditional knowledge is concerned. What is important, but what has happened to particularly to our country, we are talking of the Indian knowledge system. The Indian knowledge system, we're really emphasizing after only NEP has come, only under compulsion as if we are going for Indian knowledge system, but this Indian knowledge system should be a part of the growth process. And it has not been so the way we are now emphasizing. Now this is accepted because of the fact that post-colonial period, as far as our country is concerned, post-colonial period has seen rapid changes. Particularly, let's talk of science, which is objective. Science is objective. That's why it's easy to explain and easy to give example. And it's that science is what happened. In the science, we always find that we are Having from traditional knowledge, then we have gone to specialization. From specialization, we have gone to super specialization. And so we are really developing expertise, fineness, and smaller things into more details. But our knowledge of integrating these smaller details into one holistic model is missing. That integrating the thing into holistic model, we need to have the traditional approach where how we really experimented, how we accepted, how we put things together. But at the same time, I believe that we have to have the modern science, we have to have the modern knowledge. These are important because with time we have to change. And at the same time, the greatest problem in our society is that we, when we move very speedily, and we miss many of the things, we leave behind many things which we forget. And that's create the problem for all of us. And we hand in hand, if we don't forget what the basic, the fundamental important knowledge that we gathered over the years, and if could be better integrated with the modern science or modern developments or modern growth, I think nothing could be better than that. Because the tradition, as I already mentioned, the tradition and modern knowledge. And this is there. Well, whatever the whole universe, we have to, it is the building of knowledge of the universe is our motto. Whatever we have been doing, what we're researching, and we are building the knowledge of the universe, we're creating ideas. And most of these ideas are tentative. And we are testing, retesting, and retesting, and we are really coming to solid, firm explanation. And this is really putting us a lot of confidence as far as we are concerned. And this confidence can only really take the concept forward for the next generation. And this is where we have a tremendous role to play. We are, as a student of the society, we are all are students of the society. As long as we remain student, we can really go into depth of the issues much better, and we keep our always mind really looks for something new, and the process of learning continues. The greatest problem is that in the age of specialization, we fail sometimes to become remain student, and that creates the problem in the society at large. I feel that this international conference on traditional knowledge, what we are having today, is very topical, very useful, very important from the present day context. And one thing I'd like to mention that it is not only the input driven approach that we normally have, and we talk of outcome. Input and outcome, we find there's no direct link sometimes. We can't really connect the outcome to the input the way we really want, because the missing link in the entire exercise is the process. For input, the process, then outcome, and then we can look for the impact. And therefore, this is also process is also equally important if we really connect the input with the outcome. And this process can only ensure the actual result and acceptable result and effectiveness and long-term sustainability. And I always believe that we take all these things together if we want to succeed and if we want to take the issues forward in an effective way. Well, this is really, I'm very delighted to be here today, where you are exploring traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge exists. Only this knowledge, we are not working on it. This traditional knowledge, our traditional needs. Now, if you talk of Assam, 70% population in the rural areas, and this they do traditional practices in their with day-to-day life. And these traditional practices need refinement. The traditional practices need to cope with the modern needs. These traditional practices have to be really looked very seriously, sincerely, and that's the reason I think this conference will really take us to look into all these issues very effectively and make the traditional knowledge, which have a strong term, this is a foundation, this is the base, this is the part of our life. This is a traditional knowledge is a platform. On this platform, we work, and we can't allow the platform to be broken. Let the platform remain. Let the platform be strengthened. Let the platform should really pop up new ideas of modern science. And that can only, we feel that we can have a better society at large. I don't want to dwell much on this issue. This is the inaugural program. A lot of experts are here, very learned people are sitting here. I'm a small fry as compared to the only learned people. And I'm sure all these things will be dwell upon as far as the subsequent part of the technical sessions are concerned. And it will make the entire program very exciting, effective, useful, impactful, and as far as this international conference is concerned. With these few words, I declare this program formally open. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening words. Our first guest of honor, Professor Asintha Nayan Besbarwa, GERD's Presidential Professor, Civil Construction and Environmental Engineering, North Dakota State University, USA, is here with us today. His interest of works include environmental applications and implications of nanomaterials, nutrient recovery and delivery, and life cycle assessment. To have such a scholarly personality amongst us is surely a moment of honor for all of us. I take this opportunity to invite Dr. Asintha Nayan Besbarwa, sir, over the podium and hear him share his thoughts and ideas with us.
Thank you so much. I think we are in this room prior to this session. So we started the agriculture session here. So I'll be very short. I want to convey two messages here. And thank you everybody for joining this one. And two messages that we need to get the work done and we need to communicate. These are two messages I just want to convey to you. Most important thing, being in Nowgong, I think it will be a crime for me not to refer to one of my most favorite professors in Cotton College, Nabokanta Borua. Nabokanta Borua, in his poem called Poloch, said, Amar natir, notun pamor, nangolor hirolut, ami harpam, hihote pohibo, amar jibasmot, jatismoror, hahi uthakadhu. Meaning, in the furrows of my grandson's farmland, will awake in our fossils, and they will read in our fossils the amusing stories, which I call it laughable stories of the past. We do not want that to happen. We want to make things happen such that the future generation that is coming after us can tell, okay, our forefathers have done something for us. I think that's important. So there cannot be any better teaching from the Kolongporia Kobi than what he has told as a universal truth that we have to do something. So collecting traditional knowledge and enriching them and checking them against, making sure they are not superstitions. I think there's a fine line between those two. Traditional knowledge can be very superstitious or it can be very scientific. That is where we live in that intersection of, making things, looking into things in a finer way, in a critical way, and making it perfect, So we are talking about this morning, we are doing some research on cow manure, gobar. So I am born and brought up in a place called Bokakhat, and where I have done, touch gobar, if you ask me to touch right now, I'll not feel uncomfortable. But a lot of us will feel uncomfortable because you have never touched gobar. So now how can we still make best use of cow manure? And that's where the science comes in, where the technology of pyrolysis and other comes in. So we have to think. Now, there are certain superstitions, like people, if somebody sees something, then all plant dies. There are superstitions like that, right? We used to have a person, if Boruani passes through near our house, everything will die. And those are superstitions. This is not traditional knowledge. So we have to screen things out because of that. Now, one of the things I emphasized in the previous meeting, many times we may think, okay, what kind of research can I do? I'm not a researcher. everybody didn't have to be a researcher. You don't have to. When you talk about research, many a time we confuse that with putting some chemicals or measuring some forces. No, that is not research. Research can be anything in depth, not Google. Okay, just be careful of Google. Looking something in the Google is not research. I think we need to go beyond that, and we need to do that. I think one of the things I floated this morning, I think Gogoi Baidew ase amar logot, so she can emphasize on it. One of the things you can do, you don't have to write. You can create an oral history of traditional knowledge. You can record with your cell phone, and you can deposit it. Nowgong College can take lead on that one. Communication is very important. Communicating knowledge in a perfect way is very important. I studied in Golaghat, so I remember. I think I should end with a particular thing he taught us. In Sanskrit, he was a Sanskrit Pandit, Makhan Gopal Goswami, in Golaghat Government School. So one of the things I still remember, he talked about importance of communication in modern day context. It says, Keurani na bhushanti purusham, hara na chandujjala, na snanam, na bilepanam, na kushumam, na salankrita murdhaja, bani eka shamalang karuti jaidang ya sanaskrita dhayate, kriyante khalbhushanani bhagabhushanam bhushanam. What does it mean? That doesn't matter how well dressed you are, how nicely you make your hair, and what cosmetics you wear. It doesn't matter. What matters? How well you speak. I am trying to make it a more relevant how well you communicate. I think that's the most important part. I think that is one of the things very important for this context. Let us communicate well about the rich heritage we have, and let us make it scientific. And also you can be a YouTuber. I know I said in the earlier meeting, thank God that somebody banned TikTok in this country. It's a good thing done. At least we can still use the other stuff like Facebook and others. You can be a Facebooker. But so you can really do things out there, promote this culture, but make sure that you go through a validation process. That's why I said ja sangaskrita dhayati. Ja sangaskrita dhayati. That is important. It should go for refinement process. Your communication, whatever you create, I think that's important. Welcome everybody, and we know 2 days we'll have a lot of interesting stuff coming up. Take note of this and play your role. I think that's the important part. Play your role. Don't think you do not have a role. Everybody has a role. Play your role. Thank you, sir, so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure the youth will take all your advices and restore the traditional knowledge of this state and the country. Moving on, we also have with us Dr. Bhujang Babore as guest of honor. He's presently the director of Knowledge Resource Center Research for Resurgence Foundation, Nagpur, Maharashtra. His research interest lies in archival studies and preservation, art and architectural heritage of India, museum studies and exhibition, etc. He is also the life member of academic bodies like Indian History Congress, Museum Association of India, Akhil Bharatiya Itihas Sankalan Samiti, Maharashtra History Congress. I invite Dr. Bhujang Babore, sir, to share his take on traditional knowledge system.
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः मामकाः पांडवाश्चैव किं कुर्वता संजय। वर्तमान के इस महाभारत में हम सभी लोग अर्जुन की तरह स्तब्ध है, क्योंकि हथियार हमारे पास है, हमारे सामने रणांगण है जो वर्तमान का विश्व है, मगर क्या करना है इसके बारे में मार्गदर्शन करने वाले जो गुरुजन, प्रोफेसर ऑफ प्रैक्टिस हमारे पास चाहिए। ये भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा के बारे में इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम्स जिसका शब्द प्रयोग किया है NEP 2022 में बताया गया है। सो दिस ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज सिस्टम्स के बारे में एक शब्द बहुत अच्छा यूज किया है, कनेक्टिंग द पास्ट। हमारा जो भूतकाल है, अतीत है, उसको वर्तमान के साथ जोड़ना और भविष्य के लिए हम उसको एक अच्छा लिव दिस वर्ल्ड बेटर देन यू फाउंड इट, ऐसा जो बोला गया है कि ये विश्व जो है जैसा आपने देखा था उससे अच्छा छोड़ के जाइएगा। इसके लिए हमें जो करना है वही हमारा ये ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज सिस्टम्स है, क्योंकि जो अच्छा हम देख रहे हैं ये परंपराओं ने हमें दिया हुआ है। वर्तमान में हम जो जी रहे हैं, मुझे क्षमा करना मैं कुछ बातें बहुत डॉक्टर की तरह कभी कभी बोलता हूँ, ऐसा मुझे लगता है, मुझे ही उसका बाद में दुख होता है। हम ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज सिस्टम्स के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, खिड़कियां दरवाजे बंद है, फैन चलाए हैं और जो आर्टिफिशियल लाइट है उसको हम यूज कर रहे हैं। सो गांधीज वे जो बोलता है यार, रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को शांति निकेतन परंपरा को हम जब सीखते हैं तो पेड़ के नीचे बैठकर भी हम लोग सीख सकते हैं, इज इट और नॉट? सीखते हैं ना। ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज सिस्टम्स में जो 18 पगड़ जाती है, अलुतेदारी बलुतेदारी द क्राफ्ट्समैन और व्हाट एवर बी देयर, हम जो सीखते हैं वो उसके साथ साथ सहज रूप से सीख जाते हैं। इसका कारण क्या है? क्योंकि वो सभी नेचुरल वे है, सभी नेचुरल वे है। हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम जो रिफॉर्म होना चाहिए उस बेस पे होना चाहिए। यूजीसी ने 2 क्रेडिट कोर्स कंपलसरी किया। हमारे जो फ्रेंड है मनीष जोशी जी, 8 साल मैंने उनके साथ काम किया, नाउ ही इज अ यूजीसी सेक्रेटरी। सो जब डिस्कशन करते हैं, बहुत लेंदी डिस्कशन चलता है, पूरा नाइट भोपाल में ऑल प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी वाइस चांसलर्स मीट हुआ, उसमें पूरा रात भर के डिस्कशन के बाद सुबह वो बोले कि चलो हम चल करके भोजपुर का शिव मंदिर देख के आते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि पहाड़ों पर ऐसे पत्थरों पर जो है उसका आर्किटेक्चरल पहले पूरा वो सभी प्लान बनाए गए हैं, उसके बाद भारत का सबसे टॉलेस्ट हाईएस्ट टेम्पल बनाया गया। बट एक्सपेरिमेंटल लैबोरेटरी वो वहां का जमीन है, धरती के ऊपर वो सभी पहले बनाया गया। ऐसा लोग हमारे पास थे जो प्रैक्टिकली नॉलेज को इंप्लीमेंट करना जानते थे। नाउ दिस एंटायर एजुकेशन सिस्टम्स बिकम्स मोर एंड मोर थ्योरेटिकल। ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम थ्योरेटिक होते गए, इसलिए ये बी हो चुके हैं, एमई हो चुके हैं। बट मराठी में हम लोग बोलते हैं गवंडी जो होता है ना घर बनाने वाला, तो वो ओड़ंबा बोलते हैं। वो ऐसा एक रस्सी होता है, उसको लगाना होता है। तो वो कैसे लगाना है ये पूछे तो वो सहज रूप से बता सकता है, बी हुआ स्टूडेंट नहीं बता सकता है, बिकॉज वो थ्योरेटिकल है, प्रैक्टिकल नहीं है। हम लोगों को इसका एक फ्यूजन, अच्छा फ्यूजन, हमारा जितना भी नॉलेज ट्रेडिशंस है वो टोटली प्रैक्टिकल बेस्ड है। सो अभी हमारा जो सिलेबस है सभी सब्जेक्ट्स का, उसको हम कैसे प्रैक्टिकल के साथ में कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, दिस इज व्हाट द विजन ऑफ दिस आईकेएस कोर्सेस। हमारा जो घंटी मूर्ति जी है आईकेएस डायरेक्टर, उनके साथ भी जब डिस्कशन हुआ, एक गुवाहाटी में एक सेंटर बनाने के लिए वो अभी हमको प्रपोज बताए थे, 1 करोड़ 20 लाख रुपीज फॉर द 5 सेंटर्स वो हमें अलॉट किए थे। सो नागपुर, कोलकाता, बेंगलोर एंड गुवाहाटी, दिल्ली में ऑलरेडी उसका ये हो चुका है। सो ऐसे सेंटर्स बनाने के लिए वो हमें बताए थे, तब हमारा उद्देश्य वही था, व्हाई वी शुड नीड, क्या जरूरत है। तो एक अच्छा वर्ड बीच में यूज हुआ, मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स। जो हमारा मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट ट्रेडिशंस है, अप टू नाउ वी कैटलॉग्ड अराउंड 30 लाख मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स, डिजिटाइज्ड 2.5 लाख मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट, 30 लाख मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट हमने अभी तक कैटलॉग किए। उसमें से मोर देन 1.5 लाख ये हमारा आसाम एंड सराउंडिंग रीजन से है। मगर ये 1.5 लाख मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट का सिर्फ कैटलॉगिंग हमारे पास है, एक्चुअल वो भी डिजिटाइज होना बाकी है। उसके अंदर जो नॉलेज है उसको प्रैक्टिस में उतारना बाकी है। जस्ट आई वांट टू गिव फ्यू एग्जांपल्स। भोजन कुतूहलम, वन मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट इज देयर, जिसमें हम कोई भी पदार्थ खाने से पहले हमारे मन में कौन सी भावनाएं निर्माण होती है, कौन सा रस हमारी जीवा पर निर्माण होता है, भोजन करते समय हमारे मन में क्या भावनाएं होती है, और खाते समय उन भावनाओं के साथ जब हम खाते उसका हमारे शरीर पर क्या असर होता है, ये भोजन कुतूहल में बताया गया है। और उसमें एक दूसरा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग है, हमारे हड्डी का कैसा भी बुखार, चिकनगुनिया हुआ था ना, चिकनगुनिया सब लोग जानते हैं, उसका क्या दवाई बनाना चाहिए उसके बारे में उसमें बहुत अच्छा बनाया। तुलसी के पत्तों का अर्क बनाइए, उसमें आधा प्रमाण शुद्ध शहद मिलाइए, हर 2-2 घंटे के बाद 1-1 चम्मच लेते रहिएगा, हड्डी का कैसा भी बुखार दूर होगा, उसमें बताया गया है। अनदर वन इंपॉर्टेंट मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट इज देयर, जिसमें हमारा जो ये सभी वायरल डिसीजेस है, वायरल डिसीजेस के बारे में मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट आपका रीजन में, उनका मोबाइल में वो मुझे दिखा रहे थे अपने यहाँ कुछ मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट जो है उसके बारे में। सो गज आयुर्वेदा ऐसा शब्द प्रयोग मैंने उसको किया। ओनली 2 मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स आर देयर, एक ये आपका कलेक्शन में है इधर आसाम केस में, एंड दूसरा त्रावणकोर संस्थान केस में है। मैं ये क्यों बता रहा हूं, क्योंकि इस नॉलेज का उपयोग विदेश में जिन लोगों ने किया वो लोग आज स्कॉलर कहलाते हैं, और हमारे ही लोग हमारे अपने पास में जो नॉलेज है उसको रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करते हैं। रिकॉग्नाइजेशन इज आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। तो हमारे आजू बाजू में ये सारे बच्चे जो बैठे हुए हैं ना, हमें कोई दूसरे ऐसे क्या बोलते हैं उसको, वॉलेंटियर्स या दूसरे रिसर्च असिस्टेंट्स, उनको लगाने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। वो स्टूडेंट ही हमारे लिए जो है वो उसका एक पार्ट बन जाते हैं। जस्ट वांट टू गिव अनदर एग्जांपल। मैं आप सबके साथ जो जुड़ा, हमारी दीदी हजारिका जी दीदी यहाँ पर बैठे हैं, हम लोग कई सारे कोर्सेज, कई सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स किए। अभी हमारे पास में डायरेक्टरी ऑफ म्यूजियम्स इन इंडिया, IGNC ने हमको प्रोजेक्ट दिया था। विद इन 5 months वी कंप्लीटेड इट एंड स्पेंडिंग 4,89,044 रुपीज। सिर्फ 4,90,000 के करीब हमने रुपए किए, एंड वी डॉक्यूमेंटेड 1833 म्यूजियम्स फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द इंडिया। दूसरा कोई अगर ये प्रोजेक्ट लेता तो उन्होंने हमें बोला कि इट्स मोर देन 50 लाख रुपीज, 50 लाख से कम बोला, उससे ज्यादा ले लेते। इसका कारण क्या था? बिकॉज ऑल दिस स्टूडेंट्स एंड ऑल द रिसर्चर्स, यही हमारे लिए जो है एक ताकत है। और इनको अगर सही तरीके से अगर हम लोग इनके साथ में इंटरेक्शन, कम्युनिकेशन अगर प्रॉपरली हो पाया, तो हम लोग वो प्रोफेसर ऑफ प्रैक्टिसेस इन्हीं के बीच में से निर्माण हो सकेंगे। अभी जाकर के जो ये 66 पेजेस का जो ड्राफ्ट है NEP 2020 का, हमने 589 प्रोग्राम्स किया ऑल ओवर इंडिया में इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ दिस NEP 2020। तो उसमें अराउंड 97,000 प्रोफेसर्स, टीचर्स, वाइस चांसलर्स जो इसमें सहभागी हुए। हर साल हम लोग एक कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ एकेडमिक लीडरशिप करते हैं। लास्ट ईयर 150 वाइस चांसलर्स एंड ऑल द डायरेक्टर्स ऑफ IIT एंड NIT, दे ऑल पार्टिसिपेटेड इन दैट। ये सभी करने के बाद हमें पता चला कि बेसिक जो कंसेप्ट्स है वो भी हमारा क्लियर नहीं है। ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज बोलते ही सिर्फ पुराना जो है उतना ही बताना है क्या, ऐसा आ जाता है। अभी आप लोग देख रहे थे, हम लोग वहां बैठे बैठे जो है मोबाइल हाथ में रख के बैठे हुए थे। क्यों? क्योंकि जो बोल रहे हैं ना उसको नोट्स लेना जरूरी है। बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं हमारे पास पेन है, नोटबुक नहीं है, मगर हर एक के जेब में मोबाइल है ना। मोबाइल में एक ऑप्शन एक होता है ना, नोट्स बोल के, नोटपैड होता है ना, नोटपैड, उसके अंदर जाकर क्लिक करके आप लिख सकते हैं ना, मगर हम उसको यूज करना जानते हैं क्या? हम लोग है हमारे पास, जेब में पड़ा है, तुझे आए तुझे पास ही परी तू जागा चुकलाशी। मराठी में कैसा है? हमारे पास ही है, हमको ही उसकी कीमत नहीं है। मेरे पास पेन नहीं तो क्या हुआ, वो तो है ना, मोबाइल तो है, उसमें मैं लिख सकता हूं। मैं सुबह बोलते हुए बोला कि आजकल हम लोग लाइब्रेरी में नहीं जाते हैं, बच्चे जो है लाइब्रेरी में नहीं जाते। रंगनाथ जी का एक नियम है, किताबों को बच्चों तक पहुंचाइए। उसके लिए क्या है? लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, डिजिटाइजेशन, अभी सर ने बताया था, रिकॉर्डिंग करना वगैरह। सो 1 टेराबाइट का हार्ड डिस्क में 25,000 बुक्स बैठते हैं, 4 टेराबाइट का बुक्स में अराउंड 1 लाख बुक्स बैठते हैं। हमारे पास में ऐसा हम लोगों ने किया है। तो एक हार्ड डिस्क पॉकेट साइज जो जेब में रखते हैं ना, बीच में आया था पॉकेट डिक्शनरीज, बड़ा डिक्शनरी नहीं रख सकते तो पॉकेट डिक्शनरी आया। अब हम लोग बोलते हैं पॉकेट लाइब्रेरीज। मैं भी लेके आया हूं हमारा कॉलेज के लिए जो है 25,000 बुक्स का एक छोटा सा लाइब्रेरी लेके आया हूं। आप चाहते हैं तो कृपया जरूर लीजिएगा। सो एक हार्ड डिस्क हम लोग साथ में रखते हैं, जेब में रख सकते हैं। 25,000 किताबें का 1 टेराबाइट का हार्ड डिस्क रखिए, 10,300 रुपए डाल करके 4 टेराबाइट का हार्ड डिस्क रखिए, 1 लाख किताबों का लाइब्रेरी जेब में रखिएगा। ये मैं क्यों बता रहा हूं? क्योंकि नॉलेज इज व्हाट द पावर ऑफ दिस जनरेशन। ज्ञान जो है ना वो ताकत है, एंड द नॉलेज ट्रेडिशंस हैव दैट पावर। वो पावर है, और उस पावर का 2 चीजों के लिए उपयोग करना है। डॉक्यूमेंटेशन ऑफ ऑल द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस, जो भी अच्छा है हमारे आजू बाजू में जो हो रहा है उसको डॉक्यूमेंटेशन कीजिए, एंड स्प्रेड दिस मैसेज फॉर वसुधैव कुटुंबकम। समग्र जगत जो है हमारा परिवार है, ये फैमिली, हम सभी एक परिवार है। इस भावना को निर्माण करने वाली संस्कृति, ये हमारी सच्ची संस्कृति है। चाहे वो ऋग्वेद ने बताया, ईशावास्य उपनिषद ने बताया, या हमारे संत ज्ञानेश्वर ने बताया, या विनोबा जी ने बताया। उनका नारा था जय जगत, जय जगत, समग्र विश्व ही हमारा परिवार है। सो मैं यहाँ पर सभी बच्चों से, सभी हमारे जो प्रोफेसर्स है, सभी से ये विनती करता हूं, ये 2 दिन का ज्ञान यज्ञ है। मैं इसको ज्ञान यज्ञ ऐसा कहता हूं। जहां पर यज्ञ नहीं दिखाई देता है वहां हमारे रुकने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। उसमें आहुति जो है ना, आप सभी के डेडिकेशन की चाहिए। उसमें आहुति हम सभी का डेडिकेशन चाहिए। जब हम वो डेडिकेट करते हैं, समय को देते हैं, तभी जाकर के तपो मूलम ही साधनम, उसी तप से जो है हमारा जो साध्य है वो हमें प्राप्त होगा। वरना हम लोग सिर्फ ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स करते रहेंगे और उसका आउटकम्स 0 रहेगा। So very humbly request to all of you that please be serious about these all things. कृपा करके इसको सभी को जो है हम गंभीरता पूर्वक सोचे. हम सभी अपना, सर ने एक वर्ड यूज किया, we need to play our role. We need to play our role very honestly. So once again I humbly thankful to all of you. आप सभी गुरुजनों का और आप सभी विद्यार्थी गणों का मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं. रुकता हूं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, sir. Our institute is run by some of faculty who always works towards excellence in their academic journey. It's a moment of pride as I welcome Dr. Sabreen Ahmed, Assistant Professor, Department of English, to present her book titled Interstice, Troubled Mind and Gendered Spaces to our audiences and guests. I request Dr. Mridul Hazarika, sir, to inaugurate the book. Thank you, everyone. Now we proceed for the inauguration of online abstract in Genedo. Genedo is a rapidly growing open access international platform, and with the support from our international academic advisor, Dr. Jagannath Vishwakarma, we have been provided to upload the selected abstracts and full research papers from this conference on the platform. Dr. Jagannath Vishwakarma, UKRI endorsed Global Talent Environmental Scientist, School of Art Sciences, University of Bristol, UK, has joined us in the online mode. I request him to address our audience and enlighten us more on the Genedo platform.
Namaskar, honorable dignitaries, participants, and attendees. I'm delighted to convey my best wishes to each and every one of you. I hope you are excited to enjoy the conference, make connections, talk to peers. As our peers have already mentioned, I think communication is the key. So please do not hesitate to talk to your peers. I think it is indeed a rare opportunity for a college to come up with such a grand international conference on traditional knowledge. And so therefore, it's kudos to the organizing committee. Everybody is mentioning about our traditional knowledge. Hitupadesh says, Vidya dadati binayang binayadhyati patratam, patrata dhanam apnoti dhanat dharma tata sukha. Long story short, the translation says it's just the knowledge which brings the contentment. And we are so rich in our ancient knowledge that we cannot dare even to forget. So it is a proper time that the Naga College have hosted this international conference linking traditional knowledge to the modern science. I'm very much happy to announce that publication of peer-reviewed accepted abstracts are now available online in an open access mode under Genedo platform. It is a historical day for the entire northeastern region of India for sharing their own research internationally. I think it is very important that we need to be vocal for our local. In the West, it is indeed the need of the hour that impact-driven research must be openly published. I'm glad we at the Southeast Asia, in India, especially in Northeast, we have embraced it way ahead of times. And it is for me more special that my alma mater, Nowgong College, has adopted this concept of publish transparently. So Genedo is a part of a huge database developed in Switzerland, where I studied much of my master's, PhD, and postdoc. Much credit goes to CERN, Geneva. And of course, there are collaborators involved in this huge project. But what is exciting for me and for you, of course, is that we can have our work visible to an international colleagues and friends. We don't need now depend on the Western library. We can create our own libraries. Already my previous speaker mentioned the importance of libraries. So please be aware of communication. Please be aware of transporting your science to the wider audience. So by the time I pull up the online version of Xanadu, I would like you all to give a round of applause to the PhD scholars and students, volunteers for the conference who put their hard work into this Xanadu publication. So please, round of applause for them. So let me know if you can see this screen. So this is the Xanadu portal. It's very simple website, xanadu.org. This is the main portal. All of your accepted abstracts are now online available. You might want to search it. If you want to know more about Xanadu, you can scroll down. There is an about section here. You can see why Xanadu was created and what is the importance of Xanadu. So this is about Xanadu, but where are our abstracts? I think we are all eagerly waiting to see our abstracts. So International Conference on Traditional Knowledge, Bridging Past and Future, Nowgong College Autonomous, upgraded to Nowgong University, Assam. So this is the site that you might need to visit to see your abstracts published. In front of me, you can see already that application of traditional knowledge for sustainable aquaculture by Pavitra Kumar Saharia. I think it's already published. You can see the published version of this. The abstract is already written. Author lists are mentioned, right? And for you to get the DOIs, you can click here and you find the DOIs as well. So what it means that your abstract is internationally acknowledged, given a proper DOI number, which you can also use for your academic growth. With this, I'd like to stop sharing the screen and come back to you to say my final wishes to everybody. And it's a great honor and pleasure to open the Xanadu abstract book. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. We are extremely pleased to have Dr. A.K. Thakur, Professor of History, Nehu, Shillong, and author, as our keynote speaker today. His expertise lies in the medieval Eastern history, but he has also invested years in studying peasantry, slavery, economy, technology, and trade of the pre-colonial Northeast India, Arunachal Pradesh being one of his central domain of interest. He has also completed several research projects and has authored numerous books. May I please have the honor to welcome Dr. A.K. Thakur, sir, to the dais.
First of all, I thank the college family for giving me this opportunity. Dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I'm from history, so I will try to look into from the perspective that how we have to look into traditional knowledge system or bridging past and future. The problem which we are trying to discuss during this 2-day seminar. Friends, when we talk about traditional knowledge system in India, it is largely dominated by text-based studies. When we say text-based studies, that means how texts were created starting from Vedas, and how Vedas have given a number of signals, information, direction regarding knowledge system, including everything. Yajurved is one of them. And a number of monographs and countless research papers have been published on the topic covered on this. And Hindu system, Jain, Buddhist, and several others will look into it. However, still we have dearth of literature when it comes to the people who were or who are not represented in those literature or those scripture. Good number of societies in India have been pre-literate society. It does not mean undeveloped or uncivilized, no. The tribes of Northeast India, good number of the tribes had no literature of their own. Till the British came, orality continued. So it is very high time that we have to look into it, that the sources which are fast fading or informants now very old, we have to do it fast. When I was working on the tribes of Northeast India, it was too difficult to get information about their medical practices and healthcare practices. Me and my research scholar or research assistant of the project, we were struggling to get information. Some information we have collected and the book is published. So still, good efforts at ground level is required. Friends, this address is divided into three parts. The first part is need to study. Why we need to study? Because during British period, when Macaulay's famous Minutes on Education came, before 19th century there was debate, Anglicist and Orientalist. That debate was there. And we see that Arabic, Persian, Sanskrit colleges were established by the British. Asiatic Society, Calcutta was established in 1784, where efforts were made to collect information about people of India. But suddenly, the move came in the 19th century, Macaulay Minutes, and everything became English. And this political domination, by 1826 Treaty of Yandabu, same time Maratha, almost same time Punjab, all India became part of the British colony, British Empire. And that political domination provided them very easy opportunity to go for social, cultural, and moral domination. And this socio-cultural moral domination, they wanted to use for their long-lasting political interest in India. And that's why English education came. And the moment English education came, through English education, English literature came, Western philosophy came, Western science, Western technology, Western ideas, Western ideology came. Babu came, the term, quote unquote, Bhadralok, don't take anybody personal. So the concept of Bhadralok came, and whole debate is there that how Brahma Samaj was a very elitist organization sitting in the drawing room and trying to propagate in the name of, this is a debated topic, that how Brahma Samaj, an elitist drawing room organization, was trying to reform India on Western line or Western perspective. So starting from 19th century, first half of the 19th century, everything in India witnessed a sharp change. English education came, Calcutta, Bombay, Patna, Madras, these universities came. education has started, everything. And we are happy to have even international that. And even in post-independence period, the British legacy of scholarship continued. Any part of India, the scholars who were not having foreign degree, they were not recognized as scholars. And there is a big debate, Western trained scholars and Indian trained scholars. Swami Vivekananda was accepted and became overnight because he went and gave the famous speech in Chicago. Before that, he was in the ashram of Calcutta, Ramakrishna Paramhans. Whole debate is there. As a student of history, some friends you must be knowing better than me. So in this whole scholarship, Western domination continued. However, post-independence period, a sincere effort was made by the then government with the establishment of Indian National Science Academy, known as INSA, must be known. And INSA in Delhi, they have been publishing books related to traditional science, medicine, technology, mathematics. They have published more than 50 years their journal. My project on the technology of the tribes of Northeast India was funded by INSA. There I have various chapters on agriculture, health, weaving, house making, how earthquake-proof houses were made, how houses were different in the high Himalayan region of Northeast India, how in the middle reaches different houses were there. So INSA provides a good funding for the study of science, technology, and medicine, and it was started early. And we have a number of publications related to Sanskrit and Persian manuscripts in the form of our science and technology. Coming to recent past, I will mention two historians. Deepak Kumar, Professor Deepak Kumar, has studied extensively science, and his books and numerous articles, they all talk about how Indian traditional science and technology was replaced by the British science and technology, and how British science and technology became tool of the imperial design. Professor K.M. Panikar has studied a number of health care system or Ayurveda, importance of plants, herbs from Kerala. And he has written extensively that what was the politics of the British to replace traditional system with the new system. So friends, just I want to mention here that efforts have been made, and even these days efforts are made. We in Northeast India, we are lacking. And I tell you, I have been working on this for more than almost 20 years, not more than 20 years. I started with salt, traditional salt. Then I got it tested in Patna University. And a number of. we don't want to do that kind of rigorous field studies in the village. We want shortcut archival based study where we get easy ready-made archival document or library. We sit in the library. Most of the libraries are now air conditioned. We collect information. We write our thesis. We do our researches. Our promotion is fixed. But when we go to the field, that is tough research. And then you feel something you have done significantly through your research. And just I will mention few. Devi Prasad Chattopadhyay, D.P. Chattopadhyay, brought out his book, History of Science and Technology in Ancient India, in 1996. A very good paper has come by Sheldon Pullock. And Sheldon Pullock is writing on Sanskrit knowledge systems on the eve of colonialism. When 18th century British rule came, for 200 years, Sheldon Pullock has collected information not through Persian texts, but what was the condition of Sanskrit from 16th to 18th century and how important information we have during that Mughal period, even in Sanskrit, towards Indian knowledge system. That very good paper has come in 2006. Similarly, Siju S. Varghese has written Cultural Politics of Engagement, Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad, and the Shaping of Scientific Citizen Public in Kerala. What Professor Bezbarua said, myth, superstitions, and scientific knowledge, there is very thin line in it. And there we have to look into what kind of collection we are doing. And Siju S. Varghese has done this study in case of Kerala, and that book has come now to before last year, 2022, History of Science, Technology, Environment, and Medicine. So friends, now we are, sir, I have 10 more minutes. Now at least we are coming out of the British colonial hangover, and good number of scholars are working. Recently, one book has come, Aspects of Science and Technology in Early India. And the book is a detailed book which is published by London, Routledge from London. And there, an article is that how Sidhartha and other ancient sages have given anatomy, physiology, and all the information related to the nervous system and everything. That book has come last year, Routledge, London, some aspects of science and technology of early India. I know, because my article is there on Northeast India. So friends, there are a number of recent works are going on, and on the basis of that, we can look into this as a model. That somebody has done it at Kerala. Until unless we read it, we will not get a model out of it. Somebody has done on the parts of Bengal. We have to read it. We have to make aware ourselves that in the review of literature, what is the critical neighborhood? I will come to Assam. Just give me 2 more minutes. So we can have those models, and on the basis of this whole exercise, we can look into it. And in this 21st century, WHO is also now paying attention to the traditional medicine. Medicine is part of traditional knowledge system. And I will tell you, tsunami had taken place 2004. There was not even a single death in tsunami in Andaman Nicobar Island, some portion of it. Why? The natives, looking into the color of the sea, temperature of the seawater, they realized that something wrong is there in the sea, and they left the seashore and ran into a few kilometers in the hinterland, in the jungle, forest. After 3 or 4 hours, when tsunami struck, nobody was there. And it has been reported extensively in contemporary newspapers. So traditional knowledge, if we tap and if we use, can do tremendous service to mankind, to humankind, every way. And that is one. So WHO has gone into it, and their diverse health practice approaches, knowledge and beliefs, incorporating plants, animal, spiritual therapies. Spiritual therapies, now WHO is accepting it. Manual techniques, singularly or in combination, to maintain well-being as well as to treat, diagnose, and prevent illness. And by definition, traditional medicine have been in existence worldwide, representing the knowledge accumulated over centuries, transmitted from one generation to another through various mediums. And this is continuing. This was continuing. When we were a child, during playing or anything, if cut was there, I remember near the hand pump, there was one herb. We were just crushing it, and a few drops of that we were putting on the scratches and everything, and we never bothered for injection leke, oh, anti-tetanus uska. We never. And that is traditional knowledge system, but that is based on science. I tell you, friends, my own, I am eyewitness to it. Before joining NEHU, I was in Arunachal Pradesh, government colleges. Our service was transferable. So in one of the NSS camp, I was NSS program officer of the college. In one of the camps, while cleaning the road, the spade struck the stone, it bounced, and there was a cut below the knee of the student. And it was profusely bleeding. There was no scope what to do. We were worried. I was the most worried as an NSS program officer. Some villagers were cool, and they were telling me, don't worry, in the evening, so-and-so will come from the Jhum Kheti, he will do puja, and he will be all right tomorrow, don't worry. And it was deep cut. What he came? The gentleman came, he told me to give 2 eggs. I gave from our kitchen 2 eggs to him. He did some puja. 3 or 4 packets of that as or bhasm or prasad, whatever you call, he said. He said, put one now, put one in the middle of the night, check it. If it is not done, then put in the morning. If it is done, don't put in the morning. Those days no mobile, huh? Please understand. Those days there was no mobile. I cannot do anything in the village. I had sent college bus also back. We are already 40 boys and girls in the village. We don't need bus. Village was 34 kilometers away from the college. I was so worried. So the boys took care, put. Next day morning, I went to him. I said, hey, Nangsang, क्या हुआ? सर ये तो ठीक हो गया, कट खत्म हो गया है, खाली उजला दिखता है. Are you getting this much Hindi? I hope so. कि sir, now the cut is already filled. The only skin looks white. I said no. Then he stopped us. कि if the wound is held, don't need to put. I said, okay, man, I should go and thank him. By the time I reached, he has already left for the Jhum. It was a very normal thing for him. But you see, in modern science, I was calculating if he has to go to the town, minimum 10 stitches he will have. He will be given good antibiotic, dose of antibiotic. And I was getting worried. And I am eyewitness to it. When I consulted him next day, he said, no, I put some puja. What he does, some herbs and serves he burn, mix it with yolk of the egg, perform his own traditional god, and God heals. So the chemical component and the belief system in the spirituality both combined together help it. So that's why, friends, we have to look into traditional knowledge system very carefully. Thin line between myth and thin line between. Friends, when we come to Northeast India, I'm trying to give, knowing fully well that you know better than me history of Assam. I'm trying to suggest, Madam is sitting on the dais, a dynamic leader, a student of history in Das. We have the name Pragjyotisa Kamrupa indicates high level of knowledge system in Assam. High level of. And the knowledge system, what I have studied, we have both the knowledge system in Assam, Paravidya and Aparavidya. Paravidya is the Vidya which is the ultimate Brahma, the reality, which cannot be seen. Aparavidya is the existence of this world. And history of Assam, traditional knowledge of Assam is full of both forms of Vidya, that is Paravidya and Aparavidya. And when we look into, we have a number of Smriti Nibandhas, generally known as Kamrupi school of Smriti Nibandhas. All these were written between 13th and 16th century. Rajguru Damodar Misra, Nilambar Charya, and Pitambara Siddhant Vagis were well-known Nibandhkaras of medieval Assam. Pitambara is known for writing 18 Smriti Nibandhas, digests, generally known as Kaumudis, such as Daya Kaumudi, Dand Kaumudi, and the list goes on. Friends, until and unless I have long list of it, my request is, until and unless these medieval or traditional texts are reread from new perspectives, what we have now, we have to reread it, we have to analyze it, and we have to write what Professor Bezbarwa said, we have to communicate with new. Filter it, myth and reality. The name already in Assam, in the field of astrology, astronomy, tantric practices, and the tradition was formalized in Kamrupa, Nibandhaniya, Khandasadhya. I'm very sorry for the wrong and bad pronunciation. We have a number of traditional knowledge system of dance, music. Daker Bachan. And I tell you, Daker Bachan is not only one in Assam. In Bihar also there is Daker Bachan. And it talks about agriculture, it talks about animals. And this Daker Bachan, but how much we students of history or sociology or economics or agriculture science have really collected new Daker Bachan and have analyzed it and linked it with present condition. I tell you, very few of us, young generation, are trying to look into traditional knowledge preserved in Daker Bachan. Accordingly, on elephants, good treatises were available in Assam. Different animals. So here, I told you, Paravidya, Aparavidya, and third dimension in medieval period develops, that is Atmavidya. Sankardeva and post Sankardeva. Third dimension of it. And likewise, when we look into treatment of different ailments, I will tell you, in Arunachal Pradesh, for fracture of bone, traditionally people were not going for plaster or nailing or pinning or whatnot. What they were doing, they will catch the crow, especially baby crow. They will crush the bone of it and put bandage of that baby crow bones on the hand or on the leg. 2 weeks enough. 2 weeks time was enough. And I tell you, friends, these are information which we have to collect and which we have to communicate. And you can look into it. Traditional astrology and astronomy, Assam has good tradition, and Assam has made, how many historically we have really visited and revisited Surya Pahar, and we are trying to calculate the remains there. Very few. And this map is there. Northeast India, Assam was one center which was recognized during ancient and medieval period. So with this, friends, I join the dignitaries on the dais to request young friends to join into this new area of research, work hard, do something for the society in which we are working. With this, I close. Again, I thank the principal and members of the college family for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. and honored to sit on the dais. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With Dr. Thakur's keynote speech, we have reached the end of this inaugural ceremony. I would like to request everybody to proceed towards Wahid Anil Bora Auditorium for the inauguration of exhibition on traditional jewelry and attires at the end of this ceremony. The exhibition shall be inaugurated by Dr. Sangeeta Gogoi and Dr. Sarat Barkatogi, former principal of Nowgong College Autonomous. After attending the exhibition program, everybody is requested to move towards Jalpan cafeteria and have the lunch. The lunch break is from 1:45 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Since we have a long list of paper presentation, the technical sessions will take place and will start strictly on time as per the schedule. Last but foremost, I would like to invite Dr. Farista Yasmin, Associate Professor and Academic Registrar, Nowgong College Autonomous, to offer her closing remark.
Thank you, Bhavana. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm standing here to give the concluding remark here. As we are running out of time, I'm going to give it short. First of all, on behalf of the organizing committee, I offer my gratitude to Professor Mridul Hazarika sir, Vice Chancellor of Mahapurush Srimanta Shankardeva Vidyalaya, Mahavidyalaya, for your consent to inaugurate this function. And I extend my sincere gratitude to our esteemed guest of honors, Professor Osinta Borua sir, who came from North Dakota State University, USA, to join us. I offer my heartfelt thanks to Dipjuti Bhuya, who is online from Western Sydney University. And all the dignitaries here, the Bhuvan are Babode, Sangeeta Gogoi Madam, and Amrendra Kumar Thakur sir, for your speech, which is power-packed knowledge. Sangeeta Madam will inaugurate our exhibition. Dr. Sandan Tamuli, P. Siva Kumar Singh, S.K. Das, Mandakini Borua, and Juri Borua Soikia. All you are the keynote speakers of our conference. You accept our invitations. I would like to thank all esteemed chairpersons, coordinators, reporters, technical persons, our event partners, State Bank of India, HDFC, ICAR, and all media partners. And above all, I want to offer my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Jagannath Biswakarma, a prominent alumnus of Nowgong College and senior scientist at the University of Bristol, United Kingdom, who generously helping us and supporting us right from the preparation of this proposal of this conference on tradition and knowledge, and also to connect this conference with global scientific community, which we discussed today also in this particular inauguration. So we believe that your unbelievable support towards this conference and your insightful guidance to our college brings blessings to the entire college fraternity. I, on the behalf of organizing committee, also thank the paper presenters and participants. Without your involvement and this conference would not have been possible. Special thanks to our research scholars and students for their tireless efforts for organizing this conference. We express our gratitude to all well-wishers who have sent goodwill messages for success of our conference. At the end, hope the deliverables, the discussions, and the interactions which will be made in this conference, in these technical sessions, will enrich your knowledge and to connect to each other for what we actually aimed for. So I thank you for your presence today from the different parts of the country and from different parts of the world to though it was online. And I thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. To conclude our inaugural ceremony, I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Everyone can now proceed to auditorium for the exhibition and for the lunch in the Jalpan cafeteria.